Good morning, everybody. How is everybody today? It's really cool to see faces without masks, most of you, and to just see all your smiles and be able to talk and be in the same room, even though it's a huge room. Did you like the climbing wall? What?
They just don't even know what that is.
It is so cool. All right, welcome everybody. Good morning. All right, so we're going to be putting the match schedules out at your pit table. So our fabulous lead cuer is doing that right now. So you will have those when you go back. You each get one copy at your table, and you guys can photograph it and share it with family and friends and everybody on the team. So good morning. Welcome to the Corning Qualifier for the New York Excelsior region. My name is Tina Betts. I am the first partner for the New York Excelsior region for First Tech Challenge. Mohawk Valley Community College, or MVCC, is proud to be the first partner organization for the vast region that we all represent. The region, if you don't know, encompasses all of New York State except for New York City and Long Island. They have their own regions. So we are a huge amount of real estate in New York State. So all of you guys represent us proudly. Thank you so much. So welcome to PowerPlay, presented by Raytheon Technologies, part of the first Energized season, presented by Qualcomm. FIRST is a global robotics community preparing young people for the future. FIRST engages students in grades pre-K through 12 in our suite of STEM programs, FIRST Lego League, FIRST Robotics Competition, and of course, kind of the best part, FIRST Tech Challenge. FIRST Tech Challenge started in 2005, and we've grown to more than 6,000 teams in more than 25 countries. All of you are helping make this program possible for the next generation of innovators, and we thank you for that. And really, because it's all over the world, FIRST is your family no matter where you guys end up, and I know you're going to be all over the world and have really cool places to visit because you're going to have other FIRSTy folks that you're going to go visit in those places. We're going to have a ton of fun today. We can't wait to see all the cool robots you guys have been building, programming, coming together, doing your community outreach. This program, the season's game challenge, is named PowerPlay. We'll see a video with the animation for that game in a minute. As you know from tackling the challenge this year, STEM skills have never been more important for solving the issues facing the world today, and First Tech Challenge is forming the leaders and innovators of tomorrow by getting kids involved in these exciting disciplines early. So have a great time today. Now I would like to introduce the tournament director of this awesome tournament. This is Jessica Ortiz. She used to be the head ref, and then she got promoted to tournament director. So Jessica.
Thank you, Tina. Tina, could I have a script? I mean, I might be able to do this without it, but I think you want me to. And I am an alumnus of the Ender Moms. So my daughter graduated from Enderbots, and so I have quite a few Ender Moms here with me as well. So the first thing that everyone needs to know is that FIRST doesn't end just when you leave high school. It continues on and on. And so it means that you have access to education and career discovery opportunities, really important connection to scholarships and employers, and it's a place in the FIRST community for life. So for many of us, it's really hard to leave because it's just so much fun. So if you want to learn more about all the ways that you can make the most of your FIRST experience, always go out to firstinspires.org, and if you put /alumni, that'll take you right to it. And so now I'd like to recognize all of our FIRST alumni who are leaders in our FIRST community and our volunteers and mentors for our team. So alumni, could you stand, or if you're standing, raise your hand? Fantastic, thank you. And so we have your pens. So at some point, you can come grab your alumni first pin from Pat there. Oh, do we have one? Okay. And so I actually have not seen this yet. We have an alumni video that we will play right now.
Participants,
an alumni of FIRST programs.
FIRST programs
Gain access to education,
amazing career discovery opportunities,
exclusive connections to scholarships,
really cool employers,
and ultimately a place in the FIRST community.
and a place in the FIRST community.
and a place in the FIRST community for life.
This is a network of people that you get to grow with for your entire career.
Okay, so cool. I still haven't seen it, but I'll go out to first.com alumni and take a look at it. And so for some of you, this might be your final season. I know, kind of tears there. So if you are a senior, or this is the final year of high school for you, I'd like you to stand up. Ah. Woohoo! I hope it's your best season yet. And so all of you will soon become FIRST alumni, and so I hope to see you back at tournaments or mentoring teams, wherever you are. And remember, to help you on your next steps, please go out and check out that website, especially for the scholarship opportunities. I guess, yeah, I don't know, I got a little confused.
There you go, right there.
Oh,
You really want to thank the parents, coaches,
Yeah.
and mentors.
yeah, I do. Yes, I would like to take a moment and I'd like to recognize all the parents and the mentors and the coaches and the volunteers who make today's event possible, because really we can't do it without you. So team members, as we ask them all to stand and say thank you to each other, I want to make sure you are saying thank you to everything that they're doing for you. So right now, everyone say thank you. Woo! Yes. All those snacks and the lunches and the trips in a snowstorm, although we're pretty lucky today, right? We're actually not going to be driving
You
home.
actually said
I know.
snowstorm.
I did, but
Why
it's clear.
did you say that?
It's clear, yeah.
Now.
No, it is not. I actually checked this one. But it really doesn't feel like
Yeah.
a tournament without a snowstorm to go along with it. So
Okay.
thank you, everyone. You're awesome in part because of your dedication and your immense belief in our students. So that we also asked of all of you today to make sure that we are honoring the FIRST ethos, the gracious professionalism. She got it. This means you're doing your best work, and at the same time, we're going to respect and we're going to value the other students, teams, and volunteers here. We want to make sure that we're lifting everyone up as they're going through their design and build experience. But today is where all the hard work you've put into designing, building, and programming your robots, it comes to life at this thrilling competition. So get to know all the other awesome teams here today. These are lifelong friends that you'll have, and learn all you can from each other. So have fun today. And now, we've all been waiting for this moment. I'd like to introduce today's fabulous MC, Pat Killian.
Woo! All right. We need to make some noise. Are you ready to have a great day? That was pretty good. I said, are you ready to play some robots? Oh, yeah, they're ready. So, before we go, wait a minute, hold on a second. Got to check my script here. Each year, First Tech Challenge creates new and exciting game for teams to learn and compete in. This year's season, First Energize, presented by Qualcomm, teams around the world will imagine the future of sustainable energy. In the 2022-2023 PowerPlay presented by Raytheon Technologies, First Tech Challenge participants will compete in an energy-driven game that tests the limits of performance. efficiency, endurance as they power their innovations forward. Let's look at this season's challenge.
Welcome to the First Tech Challenge 2022-2023 season game. PowerPlay, presented by Raytheon Technologies. A team consists of up to 2 driver operators, a human player, a coach, and a robot. Each match is played with 4 randomly selected teams, 2 per alliance. But each alliance is only allowed 1 human player. Your opponent for one match may be your partner for another. Robots must be built from materials specified in the game manual and fit within an 18-inch sizing tool, but may expand after the match begins. The game element is a 4-inch diameter by 5-inch tall plastic cone. There are 60 cones, 30 red and 30 blue. Teams may also use their custom-designed beacons in gameplay. The game is played on a 12-foot square playing field with a foam tile floor and 1-foot-high walls. Various sized junctions are placed across the field, including 9 ground junctions. In addition, there are 8 low, 4 medium, and 4 high junctions. These junctions are mounted on flexible springs and might not be perfectly vertical. Taped-off substations are centered on both sides. In each corner are taped-off terminals. In the front and back of the field are taped stripes to help robots find cone stacks. There are 4 signals placed on the field. 4 unique navigation images are positioned on the field walls. And outside of the field are the red and blue alliance stations. Before each match, cones are stacked in the substation storage areas and inside the playing fields. Custom beacons are also placed in the substation storage areas. Teams place their robots on the field, touching the wall between the substations and terminals. Each team may preload 1 cone into their robot. The 3-sided signal is then randomized. Each image references a specific parking target during match play. If a team designs their own signal sleeve, it can be used to gain additional points. The field and players are now ready. The match begins with a 30-second autonomous period. During this period, there are a number of ways for teams to score using only pre-programmed instructions and sensor inputs. Each cone secured on a junction earns points. 2 points for the ground junction, 3 points for the low junction, 4 points for the medium junction, and 5 points for the high junction. A robot parked in their Alliance substation or terminal earns 2 points. If a robot's sensors correctly read the randomized signal, it can park in the corresponding signal zone to earn 10 points. However, parking in the proper signal zone shown by a custom signal sleeve will earn 20 points. Following the autonomous period is the 2-minute driver-controlled period. During this period, human players may introduce new cones into the substations. Each cone that is placed in its matching color terminal earns 1 point. Securing cones in junctions earns the same points as during the autonomous period. 2 points for the ground junction, 3 points for the low, 4 points for medium, and 5 points for the high junction. The last 30 seconds of the driver-controlled period is the end game. Robots may continue scoring cones, but there are also ways to earn bonus points. Alliances earn points for owning a junction. This can be accomplished in 2 ways. An alliance owns the junction if their colored cone is scored on top. This earns an additional 3 points. The junction can also be owned by capping it with a beacon. This earns 10 additional points and prevents the opposing alliance from recapturing that junction. An alliance earns 20 points by completing a circuit. This is done by owning a continuous path of junctions from one terminal to the other. And if a robot is parked in either of their alliance terminals, it earns 2 points. All cones scored during the autonomous period count again if they remain in place at the end of the match. There are many ways to score in PowerPlay, but there are also rules that, if not followed, will deduct points from your alliance. For example, robots may not descore opposing alliance cones or beacons. A robot may not block or interfere with an opposing alliance attempting to score. A robot must be completely outside of a substation in order to score a cone or a beacon. Robots may control or possess only one cone and one beacon at a time. Scoring elements may not be launched, and robots may not deliberately remove game elements from the playing field. This has been a brief summary of this season's game, PowerPlay, presented by Raytheon Technologies. For complete rules, please read both game manuals and check the Q&A forum. And always remember the most important rule in First Tech Challenge: gracious professionalism. Good luck, teams, and have a great season.
All right. Do you remember when you saw that in September and you're like, oh, it's easy, or not? And now we realize, no, it's not easy. It's a lot harder than we thought it was going to be. Well, we've seen the game. Now we need to do some introduction to important people. The most important people today are our esteemed judges. Judges, if you could stand up for a second so we can see you. These individuals have a very difficult job of singling out the best of today's teams. They've already been busy this morning interviewing teams, reviewing engineering notebooks, and getting to know the game itself and the robots and the teams. They'll be in the pits this morning watching matches and then deliberating later today. We look forward to seeing the outcome of their hard work in the awards ceremony this afternoon. Let's give them one more round of applause for all they do today. Thank you, judges. Next, we'd like to introduce our FTAs, our Field Tech advisors. Where are our FTAs? There we go. The FTAs know the ins and outs of the robot control system that we use to run this competition, and they keep the whole event running really smoothly. They ensure that robots are running properly on the field. Teams, if you are having trouble with your robot, you will put your hand up and go, FTA, FTA. They will come and help you. Finally, I'd like to introduce our referees. Our referees have the difficult job of ensuring that everyone is playing by the rules. Our head ref, Eugene Brown, knows those rules ins and outs, and he will be making sure that we are playing by the rules. As in all sports, their rulings are final, and there are no reruns or video replays. Please help us stick to the schedule by respecting their decisions and following the appropriate challenge process of using the question box. If you have a question, they will come and work it out with you. So thank you, referees. And last but certainly not least, no, actually, we've already done that. So it's not last and it's not least. Never mind. A few minutes ago, you heard Mrs. Ortiz speak about gracious professionalism. That's kind of what we're all about. Today, whether you win or lose, or your robot goes down in an epic, fiery, flaming inferno, we're going to support each other. We're going to take our best, and we're going to support others' best. So let's take a moment. Who's better to explain the core value of FIRST than our very own Dean's List Award winners?
To me, gracious professionalism is about helping everyone to perform their best. One of my favorite memories is the time I zip-tied my opponent's robot back together in one of the last qualifier matches of our league championship.
Gracious professionalism is knowing that even though we compete with or against other teams, we will always be friends and cheer each other on.
To me, gracious professionalism is where everybody who's at the table can be valued for their own individual set of skills.
To me, gracious professionalism means being positive and respectful to everyone, no matter the situation.
Gracious professionalism is working in collaboration with your fellow competitors, ensuring that no matter who ends up getting first place, everyone walks away feeling supported and having learned something.
Gracious professionalism to me means working with a diverse group of individuals from different backgrounds and cultures to innovate and create a big, caring society.
Gracious professionalism is about more than gaining technical skills and competing. It's about being a good team member, a good volunteer, and a good person.
Gracious professionalism means being true to myself and others by respecting and supporting everyone, no matter what side of the field they are on, in competition and in life.
Gracious professionalism is the foundation from which a massive tech community like FIRST is built upon. All of the creativity and teamwork and inspiration for kids to build the future starts with all of us nurturing an environment of respect and acceptance.
Okay. Now you're probably wondering what the schedule is for today. At this tournament, we have 16 teams, so it's going to go very quickly. We have in the day, because our judges have to work so hard to make sure they can make the appropriate decisions and award the best of the best awards to the right team, we have added a break at about 11:15, which should be about after match 5. We are going to take I think it's a half-hour break in the pits where the judges will come and at least have an opportunity to interview some of you during that time. It'll give them a chance to really be able to work the pits and you a chance to, meet with the judges without stress. During that time as well, we have a robot demonstration that will take place here at center field for our participants. It's kind of a cool thing. Guess what? It's a robot. Shh, don't tell anyone. Anyway, so we will do our qualification matches. Lunch will be somewhere around 12:30, and then we will move through our qualification matches. After qualification matches, we will take a break, look at where teams are ranked, and then we start kind of the big dance. Ooh, you want to help me play? An alliance selection happens. Because there are 16 teams today, the first 4 robots ranked, those teams will pick one other team to play with them in an alliance round. After we do semifinal alliance round, we will do finals, and then we will crown a champion on the playing field. After that, we'll begin awards ceremony, and everybody's gonna, yay, this is awesome, and we'll celebrate our work. But before we do that, this is a sport. Do we agree that it's a sport? Is this a sport? Oh, yeah. And so it is a sport. We are going to play our national anthem, and this is a tradition that we have started in the Excelsior region. We are going to sing the national anthem together. So if you would please rise, direct your attention to the flag, and we're going to sing the national anthem together. So you got to sing, because I'm not singing alone, because I'm turning off my mic in a second. We ready? Are we ready? Okay. Oh, say, can you see? All right, who is ready for PowerPlay? Our first match is 3750 Royal Robotics, 16854 Nuclear Detonation, 4957 Metal Stingers, and 17222 Proto. If you could grab your robots and join us on the field. I need my robots from qualification match 1 to come to queuing, please. Oh, guys, can you do this too? Oh, no, not field inspection. Flip that one down that says red alliance and blue alliance. There we go. Blue is on here, red is on there. Wait for your partner. Nuclear detonation, we're looking for your robot. Proto, we're looking for your robot. While we're waiting for the robots to take the field, you'll notice that many of our teams are going to scout. My suggestion is, please, if you are scouting, that you sit down so that, and sit forward. We made this nice so there's nothing in your way or very little in your way. We want to make sure we keep a clear path here, and we certainly don't want to block the view for our spectators in the stands. Looks like Red Alliance is here. Looks like Blue Alliance is here. Robots, you can take the field. Blue Alliance, you can take the field. Grab your robots, bring them to the field. So I'd like to introduce to you our game announcer, Ben Eamon.
Hello, hello.
Ben is going to be field calling for just the Blue Alliance.
Just the Blue Alliance. The Blue Alliance is my alliance.
And I think I'm going to be Red Alliance for this, even though I'm kind of red and blue, but, well, let's see. I'm going to introduce the Red Alliance teams then. In qualification match number 1, we have Rush Henrietta Royal Robotics, team number 3750. And joining them on the field of competition is our own Elmira team, Nuclear Detonation 16854.
And over on the Blue Alliance, buzzing onto the field are the Metal Stingers, team 4957. And with them is their alliance partner, Team Proda 17222.
So Ben, the Red Alliance, we all know, is better throughout the day. It doesn't really matter. Red Alliance is going to win this tournament.
Oh, well, we'll have to see about that. I think the Blue Alliance has been practicing for a while. I think we're ready for a fierce competition here.
Well, I think what we're going to have to do is kind of keep a score of which alliance is winning, and the winning alliance is going to have to buy chocolate bar for, the losing alliance is going to buy the chocolate bar for me because I want the chocolate bar.
Oh, I see. Well, I hope you bought money for a chocolate bar because you're going to be the one buying it. For me, for the Blue Alliance.
So no pressure, guys, but you just need to win. So audience, just so you know how this works out, the robots will take the field and they have to set their robot down in a specific place that their programmers made them set it down. They're going to do the autonomous. At this point, the FTA is checking to make sure all robots are ready to rock and roll. And once he gives the okay, then we'll check our scorekeepers, and they'll give the okay, and we'll check the refs, and they'll give the okay, and then we'll start the match. You'll notice that the teams are setting their robots up in a very specific place, loading their scoring element if they want to. They must touch the edge of the playing field. These are some nice robots here, Ben. What do you think?
I know. We got Proda, got the plexiglass and their gripper, ready to score some cones on those high goals. What do you have over on the Red Alliance?
Well, I have Nuclear Detonation. They've skewered theirs. And then we have Rush Henrietta Royal Robotics. They're holding on to their... These robots look ready to play. Drivers, are you ready? Drivers are ready. Drivers, you're going to have to give me a thumbs up to let me know that you're actually ready. Drivers, are you ready? Scorekeepers, are you ready? Now we're going to randomize. Okay, we're randomizing. And the field resetters are going to check the randomization and make sure that that beacon is put appropriately on the field so that the robots can read it. Oh, it looks like they're pretty excited about what randomization they've got. All right. The field is set. The drivers are set. Scorekeepers are ready. There we go. Refs, are you ready? We'll wait for the head ref to give that thumbs up. Checking. The first match always takes a little longer because we're checking the field set. Scorekeepers are needing a minute to check something. Refs are ready. Head ref, are we ready? Head ref is ready. Scorekeepers are ready. Teams, are you ready to begin the qualifying match number 1 for the Corning Qualifier in 3, 2, 1, go.
Right away, we have both robots on the Blue Alliance on the move.
Red Alliance robots are on the move. Looks like 3750 is going to score their beacon. Team Proto is looking like they're trying to park over there. All right.
All 4 robots have finished their autonomous mode. We're waiting.
Look at how different these robots are. We have got big wheels and little wheels.
Omni wheels, Mecanum wheels. All right, we have moved on to the teleoperated period. Drivers have picked
Nuclear
up their
detonation
computers.
is scoring.
Team Proto lines up to the high goal and
Nice.
scores a blue cone.
Rush Henrietta scoring as well. Team Proto's looking to go for that high. They've got one, and Rush Henrietta is scoring on the low.
The Metal Stingers are lining up with their cone stack.
Nuclear detonation bringing in another.
The Metal Stingers have a cone. Oh, and they drop it. Those rubber bands sliding off the cone.
Rush Henrietta scoring low. Nuclear detonation just missing it.
Proto heads over to their substation, picks up another cone to score on the high goal.
4957 looks like they're having trouble there. Do they need an FTA?
All right, we got an FTA call for the Metal Stingers.
Here comes the heroes, bringing them in to help.
Do not count out the Blue Alliance yet. Team Proto is working like madmen, scoring all over the top
hard.
goals.
Nuclear detonation answers their score, though.
And now it seems like the Metal Stingers are back in action.
We have endgame. There we go. 4957 is back in action.
We are closing in on the last 15 seconds of this first match.
It
Can
looks like
beacons be
Nuclear
scored?
Detonation is bringing in their beacon. They have captured that cone.
4 seconds left. Can all the robots park?
And they're parking. And that's the match. Wow, what an exciting first match. Audience, please remember that the teams will compete in 5 qualifying rounds. So if they have trouble in one round, they've got 4 more rounds to compete in. At this point, the referees and the scorekeepers are scoring the match. When they are done scoring, the field resetters will reset the field and we'll get ready for match number 2. So we're already seeing more scoring than we saw at Penfield, which was the first qualifier for the Excelsior region. 49-57, good job not giving up. It could easily have gotten ugly, but you stayed in there. That's what we want to do. I noticed that the Red Alliance captured with their team elements, both of them have captured a junction.
That is correct. That gives you 10 extra points on the ownership. That's a big deal.
So at this point, the teams are going to pick up their robots. We should be queuing our qualification match number 2. They are all queued. Good job, Enderbots, getting those guys queued. We want to thank our host team today, which is the Enderbots, Team 5484 from Corning, New York, for hosting this tournament and running it. Field reset is being done today by students from the Alternative School for Math and Science. Thank you, Brennan and Haley. Being overseen by Connor from the Enderbots.
Now, as the robots get better and better as the season progresses, the field resetters have more and more of a job to do. More cones are being introduced to the field. That means they have a lot of cones to take off those junctions.
And their job is incredibly important because if the field is not set up correctly, teams are going to miss those critical autonomous period scores. Blue Alliance from match number 1 left a team beacon element.
Team Proda, please collect your team scoring element.
17222, please come and get your team scoring. The teams are entering the field for qualifying match number 2. Let's meet these teams. On the Red Alliance, Team 5319, the Buffalo Cyborgs. Joining them is Team 12833, Mechanical Meltdown.
And over on the Blue Alliance, we have performing at their home competition, Team 5485, the Gorilla Bots. And joining them on the Blue Alliance for their first competition, the Robotic Rangers, Team 14026.
Ben, I noticed that 14026 has what we would call a push spot.
Yeah, in fact, in this game, there's a lot of potential, even if you don't have a lift, to score those cones, play defense, park. You can still score a lot of points with a push spot, as you mentioned.
So at the Penfield qualifier, in the final alliance, there was a push spot in that alliance. So do not underestimate the small yet mighty push spots. Speaking of the Penfield qualifying tournament, Buff Cyborgs were the winning alliance captain, I do believe, and have already advanced. Is that correct?
In fact, we have 2 teams on this field that have already advanced.
Oh.
Team 5485 has also advanced from Penfield. This should be an exciting match.
So you're saying that the Blue Alliance and the Red Alliance is sort of a rematch. Let's see how their teams have it, how the teams themselves have improved their robots since that Penfield qualifier.
Now, one more detail about the Grillbots. Grillbots, I believe you currently have the Excelsior high score, is that true? Of 164 points? How do you feel about it? Do you think you're going to top that today?
Definitely, for sure.
Definitely. I'm hearing a definitely. Maybe we'll see that in this match.
Definitely. Ooh.
For reference, the current world record is 284
So it looks
points.
like the robots are on the field. They're checking they are set. We'd like a randomization, please. Oh. Yep, go for it, he says. Remember, teams, you don't pick up your controllers until after autonomous. The field is randomized. The resetters are setting that randomization. Is it all set, Connor? It's all set. Connor's giving us the heads up. Drivers, are you ready? I need a thumbs up from all drivers. Scorekeepers are ready. Refs, are you ready? Let's begin. Qualification match number 2 in 3, 2, 1, go.
Right off the gate, Grillbots lines up with their medium goal and scores a cone.
53-19, trying to score that first one. Trying to score an imaginary second one.
Look at that. Team 5485 scores a second cone on the medium goal. They're going for a third.
Holy cow.
Keep an eye out for the Gorillabots.
53-19 is making a valiant effort.
Gorillabots going for their 4th cone.
Holy moly.
How amazing.
And that's autonomous. One, 2, 8, 3, 3 is moving in to grab that cone. They've got it.
Gorillabots
1, 2, 8, 3, 3. Mechanical Meltdown scoring their first. 53-19 is going for a cone.
The Robotic Rangers have a cone in their grasp and are looking to place it on a ground junction.
Mechanical Meltdown's got their second scored. 53-19's got one. They're bringing in that up and over.
Keep an eye on Gorillabots cycling on that high goal.
There we go. 53-19 has their first. 1, 2, 8, 3, 3. Mechanical Meltdown. They're trying to grab those junctions. We might see a circuit on this one. 53-19 is scoring. They're going to grab that high one. They've got it. Mechanical Meltdown going for it.
Gorillabots looking to reclaim the high goal. They do with a blue cone on top.
1, 2, 8, 3, 3 is trying to recapture that junction. They've got it. They're looking to make a circuit. 53-19 just misses that.
Both alliances are fighting over those high goals. Now, if you end the match with your color on top, you earn an additional 3-point bonus. Those bonuses can really add up.
There's 53-19 grabbing another.
Robots place their beacon that locks that out. 10 points.
Robots with a beacon locking the high goal that was so highly contested.
140-26 trying to work that junction. They're going to get it. They are. There they go. They're coming in.
Both teams looking to park in the final seconds.
Nice job, guys.
Wow, what an exciting match.
We have 3 robots parked.
Nice job.
Congratulations to both teams.
State qualifying team and a team of 7th grade rookies together. Shot them out.
Great teamwork from the Blue Alliance over here. I just want to point out, we have the champions from the last competitions, the Grillbots, teamed up with a team of rookie 7th graders, and they did a fantastic job, both teams.
Wow. I see more cones on the field than I saw at the final match of Penfield.
Yeah,
This
if you
is
look
pretty
over at the
amazing.
substations, the Blue Alliance only had 3 more cones left to put out onto the field. They're very close to
Wow.
maxing this game out.
I can't wait to see how these are going to play out as far as final scores. Remember that the scores that you see at the bottom here are not final until the scorekeepers say they're final.
All right, I'm here with the Robotic Raiders after their fantastic performance. Now, guys, do you guys have a name for your robot?
No. I don't know. No. We're kind of thinking the bulldozer because it just pushes it.
The Bulldozer. I love that name. How are you guys enjoying your time at the Corning Qualifier?
Pretty fun. Pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah, love to hear it. Do you guys have a fun fact about your team that you want to share?
So I'm over here with Mechanical Meltdown. I love your orange, like, frizzy head. So what can you tell us cool about this robot?
His name is Watson, and we are bribing him with ice cream like we did last tournament, except this tournament it's blueberry ice cream.
Watson is driven by blueberry ice cream. Where do you put it in? Oh, he's got teeth. Of course he has teeth, because of reasons. All right, they're going to pick up their robots and take them off the field. We're going to do a quick field reset. Those ASMS kids are going to come right in and fix this field up and get ready for qualification match number 3. And it looks like we have scores for qualification match 1 and 2. Wow, our scorekeepers are really ready. Let's take a look.
Will it be the Blue Alliance?
So, wait a minute, I want to get over here. So let's see the scores for match number 1. And red wins. Yes, red wins. All right, I'm smelling that ice there. I'm smelling that chocolate coming my way.
Oh, well, I believe we have results for match 2. Let's see if that went any different.
Let's look at the scores for match number 2. Blue.
Tying it up is the Blue Alliance of the Gorillabots and the Robotic Rangers.
So I'm pretty sure red is gonna win the next one, though.
Oh, well,
Pretty sure.
we'll have to see if TARDIS and Nerds of a Feather can pull it through for the Blue Alliance at the next game.
These are high-powered teams coming up. Let's meet the teams for qualification match number 3. On the Red Alliance, 8863 Precision Cut-Ups. And joining them is our favorite White Warriors, Electric Mayhem White, 12737.
And over on the Blue Alliance, we have Team TARDIS 5356. Joining them is their alliance partner, Nerds of a Feather, Team 6347.
So look at the designs on these robots. All very different. There's 3D printed parts. Some are very short, some are very tall, some are very skinny, some are very fat. We got all different kinds here. We're going to check and make sure everything is set. Are we ready for a randomization here? Let's have the randomization. Field resetters, are we good with that randomization?
It's 1. It's the same as 1.
Our field resetters are going to set the beacons to be appropriate for the teams. Remember, teams, it's up to you to make sure it's right. Everybody's human. They could make a mistake. You're going to be the ones that check for them. So the field is ready. Drivers, are you ready? Drivers are ready. Scorekeepers are ready. Refs, are you ready? Looking, where did my head ref go? He disappeared. Oh, okay. Refs are ready. Let's begin. Qualification match number 3 in 3, 2, 1, go.
Right off the gate, Tars is rolling out, looking to score on the high goal.
Look at that. 1, 2, 7, 3,
Tars
7.
picks up another cone from their cone stack, but drops it.
Moving out.
Anything can happen in this autonomous period.
Oh, they try, but they just can't do it.
Tars is looking to score a second cone.
1, 2, 7, 3, 7. Electric Mayhem White looks like they're getting ready for driver controlled.
Drivers are taking control now.
Electric Mayhem White is grabbing their first cone. They've got it. That human player is lighting it up for precision cut-ups. They've got theirs.
Nerds of a Feather and Tardis both line up to a high goal and simultaneously score 2 high goal cones.
Woo!
Those will
Red
each
Alliance
worth
is
5
answering
points
those
each.
cones. There we go. Electric Mayhem Green's got another one. Ooh, we've dropped a precision cut-ups, dropped that cone, but they've got another one. They're ready to go. Electric Mayhem Green coming in again. Oh, I'm sorry, Electric Mayhem White. Thank you for that look.
Tardis puts a cone in their terminal. It seems as if they're going to set up a circuit. If they can make a line of owned posts between both of their blue terminals, they will get a bonus 20 points.
It looks like the Red Alliance is focusing on one very tall junction. One, 2, 7, 3, 7 knocks out that cone that was falling over so they don't have to fiddle with it. They've got another one. Notice that over the head.
All right, this is the beginning of our end game period. Teams are going to be racing to place beacons, to own goals, and to park at the end of the period.
They're building that. Red Alliance is building that tower high. Precision Cut-Ups is bringing their team element to the field. They're going to capture another junction.
The Blue Alliance is extremely close to getting a circuit if they can just put a cone in their terminal. And at the very last second, it seems as if they push a cone into the terminal, securing that circuit bonus.
Did they get that circuit? Wow, we'll have to see if the refs, that's really close. What an amazing, I think that might be the first time we've seen a circuit in this tournament.
That would be correct, Pat. Right at the buzzer.
This is pretty exciting gameplay, I have to admit.
This is a very high-scoring match, I have to say.
So, audience, just so you know, one of the experiments that our team ran early in the season was what happens if you stack cone upon cone on the same junction. At a certain point, if that were to get knocked, those high stacks, they actually fall over and fall off. So teams that score over and over on one junction run the risk of maybe having all of them de-score. It's a gamble.
Oh. We have to talk to Eugene about that.
Audience, just so you know, after qualification match number 4, we will have our break where teams will meet with judges in the pit, and there will be a professional robot demonstration in center field.
It is hard. Like, the webcam sticks out just barely, like further than the shield. Oh yeah.
So audience, I need to give you a little heads up about what's going on now. This gentleman in the purple shirt right here is tightening the field. We noticed that there was a little sway in the walls, which is never a good thing. We're going to tighten the field and make sure that it's totally set before we play qualification match number 4. After the field is tightened and reset, we will play match number 4. Then we will take a break. They will meet with the judges in the pits, and then we'll play match number 5 before lunch.
Hey, Pat, I think we have scores for match number 3.
Oh, let's go see them. Hold on. This is when I need my segue. I might have to get it back out here.
This was the match you just saw between Precision Cut-Ups and Electric Mayhem White and TARDIS and Nerds of a Feather.
So now wait a minute. We're actually tied.
We are tied. Red Alliance has won 1 match. Blue Alliance has won 1 match.
All right, let's see the scores for qualification match number 4. Here we go.
And it is the Blue Alliance.
Oh, I'm going to have to...
Making it 2-1. Blue Alliance advantage.
Look at that. And no penalties. These are very clean games going on today.
Indeed.
That's what I like to see.
Clean and high scoring.
Let's meet our teams for qualification match number 4. No, I just did that one. For qualification
4.
4. Yeah, it is 4. Oh, it's the whole, yeah, okay. On the Red Alliance, we have 10776 Blackwater Bots. And joining them on the field of competition is 6996, the oncoming Storm.
And over on the Blue Alliance, we saw their sister team in the last match, but now we get to see Electric Mayhem Green, team 12736. And joining them is team 11246, the Victor FTC team.
So You're missing a wheel. Is this a three-wheeled robot? Oh, that's pretty cool. So that might be the first three-wheeled robot I've seen this year. Nice looking. Does it have a name? AAA, of course, because it's an A-shaped robot. All righty. Let's see, are we ready for a randomization? We are. Can we have a randomization, please? Field resetters, check that randomization. Reset that field. Thank you once again to the students from the Alternative School for Math and Science for doing our field reset today. It's a thankless job. Well, wait a minute, I just thanked you. It's not a thankless job. You've been thanked. All right. The field is randomized. Drivers, are you ready? I need a thumbs up from drivers. Drivers are ready. Scorekeepers, are you ready? Refs, are you ready? Let's begin. Qualification match number 4 in 3, 2, 1, go. Oncoming storm is coming right out of the gate. Just missing. It looks like 11246 is reading. They're reading it. Are they going to get that? Yes, they do.
The Victor team has scored a cone on the low goal. That'll get them 3 extra points heading into the teleop period.
All 4 robots heading out to grab cones.
Electric Mayhem Green is using their long arm to score on that
look like
middle
they
goal.
might need an FTA.
Electric Mayhem Green scoring another cone on the medium goal.
Oncoming storm going up and up and up and down and down and down. They've got it. There we go. Blackwater bots are out and playing. They are pushing those markers around. There goes a cone. They're going to score it. Oh.
The Victor team scores a 3rd cone on that low goal.
Oncoming storm is answering them on the high.
Electric Mayhem Green goes to skewer another cone from the substation.
Blackwater bots are coming in to grab one. They're going to place it on that low junction. They're throwing it in the corner. Very good idea.
On the Blue Alliance, we have a stack of 5 cones on that low goal, and now it is 6. The Victor FTC team keeps scoring on that low goal, racking up those points.
Oncoming storm is looking like they're trying to make a pattern. It is endgame. There we go.
Victor is going for their beacon. They have it in their grasp. Looks like they're going to try to cap one of the high goals.
Oncoming storm has also got their beacon.
Victor successfully places their beacon.
Oh, that's precarious.
Big points.
Oncoming storm is going to try and get that circuit.
Last seconds of the match. 2, 1.
Oh, so good.
You can see Electric Mayhem so close to scoring that beacon.
It looks like possibly the Red Alliance scored a circuit.
Now look at that blue beacon on the Blue Alliance, barely hanging on by a thread.
Barely hanging on is good enough for me. There's a lot of cones on that field. Because of the shape of the cones, it's very, very difficult for a team to recover once a cone has fallen over. At this point in the season, most teams are just ignoring those cones, pushing them out of the way, maybe scoring them in their low, in their parking zone. But as the season goes on, the teams that can pick up those cones and rewrite them and use them are going to be at a huge advantage. I would like to remind teams at this point, you should return to your pits for pit judging interviews. We're seeing some amazing play here, Miss Betts. see scores from the last match. All right, let's see these official scores. Well, here we go. Blue wins again. Oh, Red's got some catching up to do. But that's okay. It's early in the day yet. It's good. Notice there's no penalties for today. That is a win. Beautiful, beautiful. Congratulations to all the teams.
So for mentors and parents, spectators, in just a couple moments, we're going to have a special presentation during this pit break. You might call it a pit stop, except it's not. We're going to have Will Boychuk, first alum, and 5356 TARDIS alum, talking about his work at International Climbing Machines. We would invite coaches and mentors and parents to actually clear out of the pits so that it's the students making those presentations and interacting with the judges. And we've got this presentation for the rest of you in the bleachers. We'll get to that momentarily. All right, ladies and gentlemen, with us today is first Tech Challenge alum Will Boychuk. He was an alumnus of the Purple People Eaters, Team TARDIS, 5356. He's one of our mentors. He's a local guy. He graduated here at Corning Painted Post High School. And Will is an engineer at International Climbing Machines. We had him do a demo and a little bit of an interpretive presentation with an FLL qualifier we had back in December. And we said we knew we needed some pit interview time. It's a pleasure to welcome Will Boychuk back today. Will, it's good to have you with us, man. Tell us a little bit about your journey into ICM.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, one of my favorite stories to tell is essentially the first day that I interviewed for ICM was actually my last day of high school because COVID essentially ruined everything. But what happened was I had been in the first organization ever since I was 6 years old. So I started in junior FLL, moved up into FLL, was on some of the ASMS teams, then moved directly into FTC. Then straight from FTC, while I technically was still on TARDIS, I landed a job at ICM without really a college education, because I was able to go back and I was able to say, yeah, I'm only 18 years old, but I have over a decade of robotics experience. So I was essentially able to, move directly into a position where, I wasn't doing super high-level stuff like I am now, but I was able to land a job at a robotics company based on the experience that I learned in this organization.
So Will, tell us a little bit about ICM's mission and goals. I've come to know it's up in Ithaca, right? Local shop, a little bit smaller, not a huge corporation. But what are you all about? I know we'll get into this, but just broadly, what's kind of the elevator pitch of ICM?
No, absolutely. So ICM, International Climbing Machines, essentially what we're trying to do is we are paradigm shifting technology, and we're trying to change how work at elevated heights is completed. So one of the magic parts about a robot, there are so many magic parts about a robot, but one of them is the sort of high level of payload capacity. So not only can our climber carry small payloads, like small sensors, but it can also carry tools, like angle grinders. It can also carry very big tools, like hydroblasters. So some of our clients actually use not only one of our climbers at once, but two of our climbers put together in order to do hydroblasting at 65,000 PSI. And it's able to do that. So it's traditionally ICM is where essentially we build the workhorse, we build the delivery vehicle, and then we do custom integrations that each one of our clients request separately.
So you and I, we're friends, and I know a little bit more backstory. I'm not sure, I didn't ask you this ahead of time. Are you able to talk about some of the companies that use your robots, and maybe some that you've taken meetings with, or some of the stuff that as a younger engineer has been kind of like, we had a meeting with these guys?
Yeah, absolutely. So our largest client right now is the United States Navy. So the US Navy actually has 10 of our climbers. They are using it more for the hydroblasting that I mentioned earlier. So they have 10 robots, but 5 systems, where essentially each one of our climbers is paired with a similar climber, and then they have 2 of those climbers, and then they attach the hydroblaster or the hydroblasting equipment in the center. And that allows it to essentially like more than quadruple the amount of pull-off force, so we're able to do that sort of work. Other large companies that use our robots, very large company in Japan, and all they do is they focus on non-destructive testing, or NDT. Japan has a lot of earthquakes and sort of natural disasters. So essentially their infrastructure requires the testing, and their infrastructure requires a higher level of testing and maintenance in order to make sure that if there is an earthquake or if there is some sort of disaster, that it's not all going to crumble. So they use a fleet of our climbers in order to go out and do different inspections. Some companies that we've worked with or that we've talked to are Disney actually reached out a couple of weeks ago. SpaceX, they have a lot of stainless steel and aluminum materials that they need to climb and inspect. So those are some other big names that we work with.
For the people in the audience, can you tell us, I see 3 main components here. You've got this bright green thing next to you, looks like something to do with safety on color alone. I see a controller which looks a lot like the FTC controllers, and then I'm assuming this is the robot. But can you walk us through, and where you can start wherever you'd like to, but what do we have up here?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll start with the climber. So this is our standard climber, ICM standard climber. It weighs about 35 to 40 pounds, so fairly lightweight. Carbon fiber structure, carbon fiber chassis. We use a lot of 3D printed materials. This vacuum cap is 3D printed, as well as the spindles. They're all 3D printed, so I know a lot of FTC teams and LEGO teams, they use 3D printed parts. And essentially, this is the workhorse that I mentioned earlier. There's no real integration on this particular model. We do have a camera for visual inspections, and then we also have this transition tail, which I'll get to in a second. But this is the primary vehicle, and this is what I primarily work on day to day, is incrementing and slowly increasing the amount of things that this robot can do. This over here is called our control station. Every climber and every system has to have a control station. This control station is essentially like, for FTC teams, it's that little, the driver station. So this is the brain, and this is what controls the climber and all other sort of aspects. So this not only talks with the climber, it also talks with the fall protector, and it also gives a sensor readout regarding the status of the system. So we can know the speed of the climber, we can know the pressure that is actually inside the vacuum chamber, and we can also change settings. So if we want to move into different modes or different settings, we can do that from the control station. The final and most important, arguably the most important part of the system, is the fall protector. So essentially, the fall protector talks with the control station, and the control station talks with the climber. The climber tells the control station the vacuum level, and the control station tells the fall protector whether that's a safe level or not. If it's not a safe level, we have this component right here, which is an emergency brake. This emergency brake is always on unless the control station gives very specific instructions not to be on. So essentially what that does is that only if we are vacuumed down and we have a proper vacuum sensor, or sensor reading, will this unlock. The fall protector also is a powered winch, so essentially it has this sort of beefy motor on the back. This motor is specifically used to lift and lower the robot, so in case we need to lift it into a specific spot on a wall, or we need to overcome some sort of obstacle that the standard climber can't overcome, we can essentially use this as a powered winch and lift it over that obstacle. And those are the three main components of every ICM system.
Just briefly, Will, how does the robot come in different flavors? I know different attachments, yes. Different sizes, is that something that ICM is looking at or working on innovating or iterating?
Absolutely, yeah. So like I said, this is our standard climber, so it's our largest. The only other system that you could consider larger is the dual system, which is 2 standard systems. We also have a mini robot, which is slightly smaller. It's around 16 by 16 inches, and this one's about, I think it's 24 by 36 inches. And then we have my personal favorite, it's the one that I've spent the most time on, is the micro robot. And that's probably about 1 foot by 1 foot. And really, the critical part is that the intellectual property and the working sort of mechanisms behind each iteration is exactly the same. It uses a rolling locomoting seal and a vacuum source in order to transverse objects at elevated height.
And I know that, like the FTC teams, you know, they build them, everybody's here to actually see them play the game. So why don't you take a minute and spin this thing up, and we can talk about it making the transition up to the wall. I certainly can't narrate that, but I think you need your hands free.
Yes,
right?
yeah,
So,
absolutely. Yeah.
So if you want to go ahead with that, one thing that I will note, and you might have caught it in what Will just shared, that rolling locomotion seal. You could look at this, and Will be in the back left of the pit as matches resume. Lunch would be a great time to visit if this has piqued your interest. But I think I'm correct in saying that there's kind of a rear roller that kind of does a gasket thing. There's the side, there's a front, and there's back. But there's a void in the middle where there's no contact with the wall at all, and that's where that suction comes from. There you go. It's almost like, yeah, there we go. And so ICM has been able to innovate that in such a way that makes it a really, really special and specialized bot. It's going to get loud here in a second as Will fires this thing up. We tried to get the winch put up in the ceiling to really go for it, but the school district, liability, I don't know. So it's motorized right now. The vacuum's not on, correct? Right? And you're going to see this kind of beaver tail thing help them make that transition.